Or it could be individual channels. Not channels, servers. Definitely meeting this server for a bit. Until I can actually, you know.
If you're gonna probably have to be muted for most of the time, because I'm going to be typing furiously.
He'll let you.
It's okay, it's just white noise, white noise.
Oh gosh darn it, I'm still in horny jail!
I don't think you're leaving horny jail, I fear.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I have
Still
not
at you.
paid it. You're also in horny jail! We're literally both in the same cage!
Blinking?
Who is? Me?
Huh?
The stream is up.
What?
Oh, good.
You know you were also in nasty jail with me. Or naughty jail. Yes.
I'm not, what are you talking about?
Look. You did not just take it. No. Boy, don't you dare take him out. They were with it.
Why am I there?
I can take over any roles that are empty by the end of this, so you guys figure it out. I'm gonna be right back.
Get me out of jail! I don't deserve to be in the Luna.
Oh, fuck. My candy.
The candy.
Sobbing.
Take me out of jail!
Freedom.
Oh no. Am I so alone again?
Mayhaps.
There is in fact a delay. So I can't
There's always a delay.
I'm free! I
Oh
love
man.
the birds, and then so it is profound.
They at least be centered
picture.
in the cage.
Yeah.
And then we got Mieba, who's just a blob. Flattened.
The flat blob.
Stream seems to be less delayed at least.
Since I have different intervals of... Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So I have Desi. That's all I have. And then Kigo.
Foot crunchy.
Ew. I don't know if that fruit by the foot is good.
Nah, I think it's just... I don't know.
Does anyone want to take nerds like shots?
What? I'm sorry?
I know what you mean, yes.
Thank you.
You know those mini
Again.
boxes of nerds?
Actually,
Are we gonna start the Discord stream now?
It's been going. Oh, never mind. Ignore me. As one can tell, the processing takes a bit to load.
The
My brain processing things. I'm giving up.
I feel like I fear I might have been a bit too creature. Because, like, I want to be creature in a different way. But I've already spent it all on the 3D modeling that I did earlier.
I can probably stream the fic if people need it for the Discord.
I'm in a very writing mood currently.
Shopping. Oh right, we're in the panic attack scene.
Oh.
We all know what we're
I'm
talking about.
also writing a panic attack scene.
Points. You better give
Are
up
we
your
past
eggs to me.
chapter 16 or did we read it?
I think we're on chapter. Wait, hold up. Let me go check.
I think we're
Actually,
on chapter 17, aren't we? Didn't we finish chapter 16?
Yeah, we finished chapter 16.
Okay, so we're on chapter 17.
Sorry, that's what we ended on chapter 16 as in we read through it.
Okay, gonna say, do you guys want me to stream the fic on my phone or whatever?
I won't be able to stream it because my laptop will explode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cause I can do it on my
I want
phone, but that's
iced
all I'm
coffee
offering.
Suddenly. Creature.
I'm gonna start the stream just so we can have it going and we can actually start this. Hold on. Start now. Then go here. You're getting phone format because I'm not gonna be able to go on make my computer.
I realize I can't quite listen to my music 'cause usually for the streams I have a specific playlist that just kind of plays through or something. Where is it?
Hold on, let me mute some things first. Just saying, I'm not gonna bother. Notifications will pop up. It's fine. Unfortunate.
Very.
For me, Ebba.
Is my music too loud on the stream or
I'm
no?
gonna exit out of chat. So I
Let me
start
check
taking
what's up here.
I have no clue.
There we go. Well, I turned down my music a little bit just in case.
Okay.
It's like a file your teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can be loud today.
I
No.
feel that.
That's fair though.
I mean, I got sick, so.
Yeah.
I fear if I speak louder than this, my head is going to be like, why implodes?
It's gonna be a quiet Apollo.
Quiet, Apollo. Just
Hold up. Let me check. Let me go over. Hop over here and
Just
check if
guy.
voice quiet again.
I think Iris would also be rather quiet as well. No,
Yeah.
you can hardly tell them apart. That's.
I mean, they're.
I rolled up. What a
You were once again very quiet.
thing.
Oh no, Void is quiet stream.
Again.
Itself.
It's denying the universe to be quiet in this though. Except for that there's like a large difference between Void and Gino talking
I'm sorry.
Huh?
on the stream. The volume difference is prominent.
Uh-oh.
That makes sense, I guess. I guess also because I usually have everyone turned up a little bit, so. Yeah,
Are we good to start this?
I suppose. Someone streaming.
Who's narrating
Say
this
this
chapter?
I assume Darklight.
Probably me.
Yeah. Alright, I have the stream up.
It's me.
Yup. I'm gonna have to like not do my habit of reading ahead while I'm streaming.
Yeah.
As I follow along.
Alright. Yeah.
What chapter?
Apollo grimaced, his ectotongue peeking out to absent-mindedly trace his dual canines.
Hold on, wait.
Apparently.
Yeah, I promised I thought you knew. I kind of figured that's why he muzzled you. The time frame matched up, and you don't normally bite him unless you're really pissed off, so.
He stared at him in genuine shock.
No, Papyrus. He muzzled me because.
You hesitated. Not because of the crowd of skeletons around you looking equally as horrified, but because you genuinely couldn't remember. You didn't even notice you were scratching at the void until Lust gently brought your wrist down. shot him an appreciative look before finding your voice.
Wait, I remember. You were 14. He wanted to start experimenting on you.
Apollo blinked.
So you bit him?
Your brow furrowed.
He wanted to inject DT into you for fun. Literally just as stress relief.
Apollo hesitated.
So then you bit him?
You gave him your most prominent side-eye.
I assume so, yes. I don't remember.
Apollo looked away before leaning closer.
Was that when the torture you mentioned started?
At your nod, he gently dragged you into a hug before pulling away. Clearing his throat, he addressed the small skeleton army surrounding you.
For context, we were created in a lab, not born. My awakening was on the 26th, but I'm assuming my body was done on the 6th, and Gaster took 3 weeks to mess with me, so I'd be less threatening. I assume because I was sedated as unconscious.
Red cleared his throat, almost mocking the official-sounding announcement, but you could immediately tell it was out of worry, which is why you didn't jump him.
Psycho filed your teeth down in your sleep.
You blinked.
Yeah. What the? He found your fucking teeth?
And you were pissed off again. Paul groaned and went back to placating you. But when you glanced away for a moment, subconsciously checking your surroundings, you locked eyes with Dust, who looked vaguely terrified of you. He raised a brow and he immediately tugged the top of his hood down to cover more of his face. It confused you until you remembered. Dusttail. Dust had killed his brother. You were pissed out of your mind from something literally almost a decade ago that admittedly didn't really affect your brother. He was probably thinking you were gonna rock his shit once you found out he killed his own brother. Or maybe you were being cocky. You do faintly remember him having like 19, 20 LV. He might fuck you up actually. Maybe you would like that. Whoa, who said that? You glanced off to the other skeletons fighting off a yawn. Red looked equally pissed off. Edge looked oddly uncomfortable. He had raised a hand to his mouth and was vaguely covering his teeth on the side that was facing Red. Holy shit, were his teeth filed too? Classic and Pyrus looked sick, which, same. You were actively fighting nausea. You didn't really know what would happen if you threw up. There wasn't shit in your stomach, so, yikes, let's not find out. Blue, surprisingly, also looked furious. There's a quieter version of your and Red's, irate, but low-key scarier. He was just silently seething a protective hand on Stretch's shoulder. His brow wasn't even furrowed much, just a light pinch between his sockets, but his eyelights were burning bright. You just knew. Blue was definitely Stretch's older brother, and he was definitely seeing the parallels between him and Apollo. Oops, Stretch also looked freaked. But it was more focused on how pissed off Blue was. Lust, the fucking angel, slowly slipped his arm around your shoulder as you watched Apollo talk everyone out of their rage spirals. Lust was on your left, so you didn't see him get that close, but you oddly didn't flinch. You hesitated, but leaned into the touch. Huh, that was new. Lust just held you there for a moment, before rubbing little circles into your right shoulder. Oh, he thought you were panicking. You chuckled softly, lifting your right arm to place your hand over his. Not stopping him, just this little silent gesture that you were all right. You took a deep breath, pushing down the nausea and beginnings of a headache before yawning. You gave 2 tired blinks before realizing Apollo was in front of you, looking expectant. He stood a little straighter.
Wait, what? Sorry,
You shook your head to clear it. What is up with this brain fog?
Sorry, I spaced out. What did you say?
Apollo blinked.
I just asked if you were alright.
You nodded.
Of course. Are you? Do your teeth hurt?
He chuckled, shaking his head lightly.
No, they only felt weird when I was younger because...
He paused.
Wait, what the fuck? Why don't I remember?
Immediately, you were concerned.
You alright, Paps? Did you eat enough? You know there's way less ambient magic. You're probably going to have to either eat a lot more or maybe take supplements to not feel like shit.
He shot you a glare.
That's wild coming from you.
You felt heat rush to your face. Or, half of it. Alright, damn. No worrying about Apollo in front of the others.
Okay, ouch, got it. You're just not usually one to forget things.
He scrutinized you under his gaze before softening.
Fair. It's lunch. Maybe I'm just hungry.
You gave him a little smile, and he raised a brow at you. You shot him a confused look until you realized he was glancing between you and Lust, who still had an arm around your shoulder. Oh, you were still holding his hand, too. Oops. You leaned back into Lust's chest just enough to see his blush a bit, before giving you a teasing smirk and sticking his tongue at you. Everyone to play, you stuck yours right back. Apollo groaned.
There's a word for your kind.
You laughed and pulled away from Lust, who had already crumpled into giggles, and got to see the wonderful reactions of the other skeletons, while Apollo shook his head at you good-naturedly. Red choked on a bark laughter. Edge blushed and looked away, covering his mouth to hide a smile. Stretch laughed, prompting Blue to elbow him, and started on leading everyone back toward the food court. Classic shook his head, much like your brother, but was smiling. Pyrus snickered, nudging Apollo, and motioned the rest of the group to follow Blue. You guys stopped in a hot topic on the way, to which Red, Edge, and Lust would not hear the end of how it was their homeland. Edge glared at everyone the entire time, but did buy him and his brother band t-shirts. Could you imagine Edge wearing that? No, but you really wanted to. You silently pointed him to some thick black ripped jeans. He offered a little smile as he raised a brow.
Wait, who is that?
It's me!
Oh, okay.
It's me, I can remember my voice. Did you want
Loud
them?
and aggressive.
No, it's not loud and aggressive. He's not talking in caps right now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want them? He tilted his head before smirking. Are you tiny and can't reach, Mouse? You deadpanned.
You will look good in them. I was showing them to you.
You watched as color slowly flooded his cheekbones. He glared, tensing to most likely yell at you before he deflated. I can't. There's holes. You blinked.
Do we have a dress code?
He also blinked. No? This whole spine is out. No, we don't have a dress code. He glanced over to Lust's outfit with a smile. It was really cute. Black skinny jeans with a few fashionable holes, and a crop top that covered most of his rib cage but barely any spine. It had a little Hello Kitty on it, too.
So, why do the holes matter?
Edge glanced at Lust, then back to the jeans. I have too many scars.
You
Okay, that one confused you.
You have too many. Smack at me if I'm being insensitive.
Edge snickered. That would kill you. You gave him a look.
Okay, lightly tap me if I'm being insensitive. But I thought you liked your scars.
Edge smiled. I do! Then he quickly answered. For the most part, at least. He gave the store a quick glance around, catching your brother by the plushie section with Blue and Pyrus.
You don't like the scars on your legs?
Edge hummed. Not exactly. You're both leaning on an empty wall space, watching Apollo and Red respectively. Glanced over to see Red and Dust in front of the t-shirt wall, clasped and stretched by the door, and Lust checking out the cute crop tops in the corner to your left. He glanced up to Edge on your right.
Can I ask you what you mean?
He looked down to you. I actually had a similar conversation with your brother. I have LV and tons of scars. I'm the resident badass of my universe, and I did what I could to keep me and my brother safe. You nodded.
You did what you could. That's what matters.
He hesitated before continuing. This universe is very soft compared to mine. He clocked the stutter immediately, silently nudging him. He stared at you for a moment before lightly nudging back.
You alright?
He nodded. Yes, I'm fine. I just don't feel like the scars are seen the same way in this universe. You haven't seen it because this is a full trip. But when it's just me going out, humans avoid me like the plague. Get lots of weird looks. Hell, I got pulled over once driving one of Red's humans home because they thought I was kidnapping her. Literally just because of the scars. Or because I'm scary, I guess. He paused. Why are you so easy to talk to? You shrugged.
Honestly, man, no idea.
You crossed your arms and leaned back against the wall, watching the group peruse through the store. Red shot you a questioning look, glancing at his brother, but you shook your head to wave him off.
You're intimidating, not scary. Being tall can freak some humans out. The sharp teeth might be part of it. Maybe your magic being red, your scar might intimidate some people, yeah. But that doesn't mean you're a big, bad, scary monster, Edge. I was more scared of Blue when I first got here. That was mainly because he woke me up.
Idiot! He chuckled and continued.
I actually had a little mental freak out when meeting Orion, as if his magic was similar to Gaster's. That was scary. You are not scary. Neither is Orion or Blue. There's a difference between a person or Fang being scary and a person being scared by them or it. You get what I mean?
Edge hummed softly. Do you truly believe that? He smiled.
Of course. I was being serious about the genes looking good on you. Scars aren't something to be ashamed of, no matter what universe you're in. You're resident badass, remember?
He snickered and nodded. You're oddly good at that, Mouse. He grinned.
Thank you, Sour Patch.
He blinked. Sour Patch?
Sour, sweet, gone.
Die. He bought the jeans. The food court had a lot of options, so the skeletons found 2 tables near each other and claimed them before scattering to their preferred store. Your brother got lo mein with Blue, Pirates, and Classic, while Red, Edge, and Dust got subs. While Scott, Boba, and Ty, you waited at the table. You couldn't get the idea of your little brother getting his fucking teeth filed out of your head. You tried your best to tamp down the nausea, taking a deep breath and attempting to ease your shivers as well. This anxiety bullshit had to go. Or maybe you were just cold? You rifled through your inventory searching for the jacket you'd bought. You're searching for a while, but just couldn't find it. All of the stuff was still in bags, and you didn't remember which store you got it from. Your hand caught on something soft at the very bottom of your inventory. Your breath caught just as hard when you pulled out a Technoblade hoodie. Your Technoblade hoodie. Holy shit, you were wearing that when you died. When you were a human, at least. You hesitated hard before slipping it back into your inventory. Resting your elbows on the table, you waited patiently for the rest of the guys to come back. Your brother sat next to you, silently offering you a bite before you grimaced and shook your head. Everything was making you feel sick. And you remembered really liking the lo mein here. The smells were urging you to gag, but you took a deep breath from your mouth and relaxed a little, slowly draping your wrist over your nose. The fabric from your long sleeve blocked out most of the smell. Apollo and the others carried the conversation while you people watched. Your soul caught on every single human that looked even remotely close to people you recognized. Your memory was hazy at best, but you knew your grandparents were dead. Long dead. That guy was not your grandpa, and neither was that lady. Hell, maybe if you had stayed in heaven, you would have seen them again. Okay, now you're making yourself sad. You flinched hard when something heavy was dropped on your back. Sitting up and turning quickly, you saw Red with a concerned look on his face.
Oh, hey.
He looked smaller? Glancing at your shoulders, you realized the big heavy thing was his jacket. His very warm jacket. Red furrowed his brow.
You're shivering. Thought you brought a jacket, kid.
He smiled nervously.
It's in my inventory somewhere. I couldn't find it.
He hummed, lightly tapping your shoulder before sitting back down on Apollo's other side. Apollo gently nudged you.
Are you alright, brother?
You nodded.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm a little nauseous and I keep spacing out, that's all.
He grimaced.
Is it because of the teeth thing? Or was something else troubling you?
He shrugged.
A bit of both. The nausea started there, the idea. I know you weren't conscious and I know you're not in pain, but the idea makes me feel sick. You were 8, Paps. I don't understand how you could do that to a child.
He stared at you for a moment.
I'm lost, hold on, wait.
Lovely. I've been lost for the past 40 minutes. You're fine.
I was on my stream!
Sobbing.
I just read, he stared
No.
at you for a moment.
I'm caught up on the fic, right?
That's
I
what
have
thought, but I wasn't
figured out
100%
here.
sure, 'cause,
I'm
like,
confused
Yeah,
about
no worries.
everything else.
Something.
Sans, did you not consider yourself to be a child then? He tortured you. You were 16.
You crossed your arms, bringing your knees up.
Paps, he killed you when you were 16.
You whispered.
And I was literally asking to be tortured anyway. You were punished because I was aggressive. There's a difference there.
Paula slipped her arm around your shoulder.
You did that to protect me. There's nothing in this world that I could do to repay that debt. But at least let me tell you that no child should ask to be tortured.
You blinked.
Papyrus, you don't owe me anything. There's no debt to be paid. You're my little brother. Hell, you're basically my kid. I would do anything for you.
He smiled softly, bumping your foreheads together lightly. You couldn't help but smile at the affection.
You ignored the rest of what I said, Sans.
You blinked again.
Sorry, what did you say?
He gently squeezed your shoulder.
That you were a child too. You couldn't possibly. There was no way in hell that you should have had to ask to be tortured. I know you did that to protect me, but you should have never been in that situation.
He hesitated before making eye contact with you.
Sans, do you think you deserved what happened in the lab?
Your mouth opened, then snapped shut. He was right. You did. When you didn't have an answer, your brother, your little starlight, all grown up now, dragged you into a hut. You wanted to apologize and reassure him that wasn't the case. But even if you didn't, you feel like your mouth was glued shut. You were not going to lie to your brother. Paula took a deep, shuddering breath before letting go.
We'll talk about that later. Love you.
You're able to pry your mouth open for that.
I love you too. I'm sorry.
Apollo looked as if you'd hit him.
Please do not apologize. I'd rather not cry on that first outing. Buy me dinner first.
It started a laugh, breaking the tension.
How much did your noodles cost?
You're not going to be my sugar daddy.
Ew! What? No!
Sobbing.
Sleep!
Oh my god.
Sobbing!
And this is how we add another
I'm still lost.
funny voice or
No.
soundboard quote.
Sobbing.
You're
I swear to God, I swear to God, you didn't ask
Please,
that.
please do
You
it.
add that.
I can get that done for you.
Luna,
I can get that done for you.
Thanks. You're right.
I'm going to fucking Tango if you do that, I swear to God.
Not me
I
forgetting
can
which
get that-
characters
I
I
can
voice every
Done
time I
for you
narrate.
when I leave.
No, for real.
I can get that soundboard done for you after the stream.
No.
No.
Please,
No.
please,
No.
please,
No.
please do
I
it. Please do it.
refuse.
Please.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna
Yes.
kill you in your sleep.
That's not the first threat I've gotten from you. Yes.
What if I bit someone?
I'm gonna kill off one of your
What if I bit
characters. I'm
someone
gonna kill off your
someone's
characters.
ankles?
Oh, go ahead. Actually,
You
That's
can't
gonna be-
kill
That's
me.
gonna be a
No,
good
no.
trauma point for
Privileges are
other
going to be
people.
revoked, I swear to God.
It's gonna be a
I
very,
could-
very
I
good
could get
kill
rid of my
me.
ankles.
trauma
do
point
my
for
work.
Plum. Anyways,
I would in fact like to get rid of my ankles right now.
ankle privileges revoked.
I didn't have those
That's
anyways.
just edge.
Okay, are we continuing?
Should I just continue narrating? I'm
Just
fine with
continue.
narrating the whole time today.
I guess.
If needed, I can also do that. Hi.
Drag me up in. Drag me up in.
Okay, Mieva, you're narrating this one. So I
God
get a chapter
damn it.
to rest my voice.
I'm basically not gonna talk anyways, so this is the best outcome.
You did a job.
Okay. 18. Okay. You found the phone store. Because you didn't have a card, you got Classic to pay for you and your brother's phones, but paid him in cash. He and Pyrus tried to fight you on it, but you literally just slipped the money into his pocket and moved on. He rolled his eyelids, but both you and Apollo now had phones. You swapped phone numbers with each other before quickly swapping with everyone else in your little group.
Sorry.
Hold on.
For
I can do this so
for
fast.
context, I just wrote reverse pickpocketing in the chat.
Reverse pickpocketing moment.
Friendship.
Okay, continue.
You and Lust snickered as you put in your contact names before showing each other.
Mieva.
Yeah,
My mom just came in to tell me to go to sleep. Hold on.
Rip. Okay,
We
I
lost
guess
the narrator.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm
8,
still
9,
here.
10, 11, 12.
Just had you a sweetheart,
One.
heart with yellow bow, which was just really. But you put him in as Aisha Erotica, which immediately put you both in stitches after he saw. Apollo had you put in as slightly amazing brother, which made you smile. He didn't appreciate being lanky bitch though, so you switched it to Starlight. After seeing the name, he softened, nudging you gently after putting you in as Key. Sorry, cough break, hold on.
That's fair.
That's short.
Why I have a water bottle next to me.
I'm currently sipping out of.
Yeah, I just went to the other side of the room to get mine.
Sobbing.
Edge
What are you
rolled his
hoarding?
My reverse pickpocketing.
Oh.
Let me read, motherfucker. Edge rolled his eyes, but showed you your contact after you asked, beg, Mousetrap, which you couldn't help but chuckle at. You smiled and showed him his contact name. Alicia Cara.
Who in the fuck is Alicia Cara?
Don't you know there's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark? Don't you know you're beautiful just the way you are?
He blinked before visibly restraining himself from strangling you.
Change it or change your status of living.
You snickered.
Well, we had a moment.
Die.
You changed his name to Internal Thoughts, then Lanky Bastard. He shook his head to both, looking seconds from smacking you. You sighed with a snicker before finally settling on Sour Patch, which he rolled his eyes at, but aloud. For some reason, his skull lit up with blush when Apollo said his name was Captain. Ha! You earned a full I can't read. You earned a full laugh from Red when you put him in as Hot Topic. You earned a full laugh from Red when you put him in as Hot Topic Wannabe, and you couldn't help but snicker when you saw he put you in as Slut too. Fair enough. You put Classic in as Vanilla Ice, but he just put you in as Kigo. You guessed it made sense to not want to get the other universes confused. You put Pyrus in as number 1 warrior, to which he chuckled and showed you your contact, which was number 1 warrior. Blue didn't get the Blue Gamble son of a bitch name, so you shrugged and switched it to Spooky Skeleton, which he found amusing. You deadpanned when your contact was literally just jumpy, though. You put Stretch in as Mitski, which he oddly seemed to appreciate. Hi.
What?
Which he oddly seemed to appreciate, but also just put you in as Jumpy. You somehow convinced the Dust to give you his number, and immediately put him in as Baby Kia, which he snorted and promptly glared at you for. He didn't show you what your contact name was, though. Sad. Your headache slowly waned as you all talked. You were quickly growing tired from the amount of social interaction. You saw your brother tracing his fangs again, and Edge silently rubbing at his own teeth on the way back to the car, and you had to physically clench your jaw to pull back your nausea. You sent Red a concerned glance. You sent Red a concerned glance, taking in his surprise before he waved you off. Hey, this is better than Void calling Apollo Kigo.
What?
It was. I think it's Pierre who said that, actually.
Still.
Pierre.
Okay, sorry, Pierre going. Still, it's better than that.
Continuing on.
Once in the parking lot, you faintly headed Edge and Papaya. Headed?
It
It's definitely her.
is?
Yeah, once in the parking lot, you faintly heard Edge and Pyrus arguing about who would drive back home. Ed really wanted to drive, but Pyrus was arguing that it was his car, which was fair, but you couldn't imagine Edge not being careful.
It's my car!
You drove on the way here!
So what?
Aren't...
This is going to be another soundboard.
It's been agreeable. Let me drive!
So you want to repeat that with everyone being quiet?
Sure!
We should just redo it like full live.
Yeah. Let's redo it full hog.
Yeah! It's my car!
You drove on the way here!
So what?
Aren't you meant to be submissive and agreeable? Let me drive!
And now we have the soundboard
You
ready.
choked. Yeah. Continuing.
Yeah.
You choked to laugh as Pyrus immediately exploded into protest, ignoring the rest as you hopped back into the back row of seats. Apollo clambered after you, stretching before slinging an arm around your shoulder. You were a little surprised by the open affection, but relaxed into his side anyway. You'd missed it. You lifted your legs on the seat, curling up and leaning into him. He hummed and flipped Red's hood over your head. You'd honestly forgotten you were wearing it, but the warmth was welcome. You blinked a few times and barely registered that you were tired before you were asleep on your brother's side under his arm. In your sleepy state, you could almost convince yourself that Red's hood fluff were Apollo's feathers, and you were laid under his wings again. You slept through most of the car ride home. Slipping in and out of consciousness, but unable to force yourself up, you faintly heard snippets of conversation.
Is asleep?
Last.
Yes, tired at sick.
Definitely your brother.
Oh shoot, that's me! I didn't think it's me, oh, Trish, this is weird. Should music down?
Stretch, you think?
It's fine.
Apollo.
You. He's all. He. Space. Mall.
Classic?
I think so. Tell Red. Jacket.
Papyrus. You felt the lack of mana drag you back into sleep. You were gently squeezed. You hazily blinked, your socket open, looking up to see your brother.
Hey, sleepyhead. Sleepy bones. We're almost to the house. We'll be able to make it to the cabin.
You tugged Red's hood off your skull, rubbing your socket and nodded.
I'll be alright. Sorry.
Apollo shook his head.
Don't apologize.
You hummed, sitting up and rolling your shoulders.
Don't know why I was so tired.
He gently nudged you.
Your magic is low, Sans. Please eat. Please eat, Sans. Something.
The little desperate edge to his voice had you nodding. You would have agreed to anything when he asked like that.
I will. I'm sorry.
Apollo shook his head.
It's okay. I love you.
You leaned your head on his shoulder, sighing softly.
I love you too.
Hold on, it's time for another coughing break.
Me.
I'm gonna clear my notification real quick.
Die off camera real quick, or off stream real quick.
Yeah.
No, downstream.
Water and almost making you choke. Stop.
Gonna upload.
Wait.
I'm dying.
Being shit at reading is not helping us.
I mean, I appreciate the break to my voice.
Yeah, be thankful.
Continue.
Yep, continuing. You teleported back to the cabin.
You got this, sweetie.
We'll get there. We get through this.
Okay. You teleported back to the cabin after saying goodnight to everyone and giving Red his jacket back. Slipping your shoes off at the door, you stumbled into the living room, stretching silently as you padded down the hall to your bedroom. You could faintly hear Jupiter cooking. You could faintly hear Jupiter cooking. You were so nauseous. You told Apollo you would eat, but you didn't promise. You were sorry. You slipped down your bedroom door, your groan trailing off into a whine. What is wrong with you right now? You forced yourself to your feet, dumping your entire inventory out on your bed and quickly sorting your clothes into your closet. Thankfully, it didn't take long, and you were flopped on your bed, curled in your technoblade. Thankfully, it didn't take long, and you were flopped on your bed, curled in your technoblade hoodie, letting your tail wrap around your legs as you hid under the soft blanket. You were cold and tired and sick. You heard light knocks at your door, Mars asking if you were hungry, but you didn't answer. And eventually, he left. You slept through the remaining daylight hours. Feeling guilty, you padded into the kitchen around midnight, slipping your tail back into your pants leg. They'd left a plate out for you on the counter near the microwave, mac and cheese, an easy meal. You didn't bother heating it, simply taking the plate and sitting on the floor with it in front of you. You leaned back on the cabinets and the counter, bringing your knees to your chest as you stared at it. You couldn't stop unrewinding. Yeah, it says in the counter. That's why I was confused there. In the counter. Shut the fuck up. Bringing your knees up to your chest as you stared at it. You couldn't stop another whine from bubbling up your chest as you knocked your head against the wood and brought the heel of your palm to your nose bridge. You have no idea how long you stayed like that. It wasn't until you felt a presence next to you that you even opened your eyes again. It was Mars. He was just sitting on the floor next to you, looking forward. He didn't say anything. Oddly enough, it motivated you to pick up your fork. You shivered and swallowed against the swell of nausea, but took a bite anyway. It tasted incredible and was chock full of magic, but you still had to fight to swallow it. You were hit with a wave of sick, so heavy you had to clench your jaw and breathe for a moment as you waited for it to subside. But it didn't. Immediately you were teleporting to the bathroom as you gagged, appearing over the toilet bowl and heaving. Mars was by your side in seconds, looking incredibly alarmed. Magic cut in your throat before you were expelling blue into the bowl. You were fine, but you couldn't breathe for a moment, and that's all it took for your consciousness to slip away and your panic to kick in. You couldn't breathe. Another dry heave, and you couldn't see either. Anyway, Mars has seen sick monsters before. Monsters who hadn't eaten in so long they fell. Monsters that dusted after getting a meal because they ate it too fast and fell after vomiting every ounce of mana reserve they had. Only those were monsters he didn't particularly care about. With a hand on Kyo's back, he watched as the small monster was swept by panic the moment he gagged. Mars watched his eyelight go unseeing, and as his dry heaves turned into coughing and hyperventilation. He wet a towel, gently wiping Kigo's mouth before tagging the skeleton into his chest. Kigo had thoughts, surprisingly sharp fingertips, attempting to claw his way out of Mars's grasp as he gasped desperately for air. Mars quickly grabbed his wrists and pinned them to his chest, pulling Kigo down and placing a heavy hand on the back of his neck. He thrashed but was far too weak to fight off Mars in that state. His legs were pinned under him as he had dropped to his knees when his nausea won. He yanked his wrists hard, but Mars kept a firm yet gentle grip. He needed Kigo asleep before he hurt himself.
Wait, hold up.
The little skeleton, far too small for their shared age, let out a truly heartbreaking whine before sobbing and struggling against him. It tugged hard on Mars' soul strings, and he had to take a deep breath to steady his emotions before he was holding Kigo close and firm. His elbow and forearm securing Kigo's ribcage and muffling his frantic movements.
It's alright, Key. It's okay. You can breathe. I've got you.
The skeleton whimpered in Mars's hold, but slowly stopped fighting. Mars rubbed his back, noticing that the bones there felt oddly mangled, and Kigo very slowly lost consciousness. Mars furrowed his brow as he went limp in his arms. This was way worse than Mars thought. He took another deep, steadying breath.
It's alright. I've got you, kid.
He gently scooped up the small skeleton, shifting him into a bridal carry before bringing him to the couch. He didn't want to go into Kigo's room without permission for any reason. He laid him down, making sure he was asleep, before tossing the throw blanket over him and going back to the kitchen to save the plate of food in the fridge. He teleported back to the couch and sat next to Kigo's head. He was laying with his ink stain? Facing down, so Mars felt fine resting a hand over Kigo's temple, humming softly to himself. He didn't know the kid well, but if the skeleton would be living with them and make his little brother happy, Mars would protect him. They were on the surface now. There was far too much food at their disposal to let another monster starve to death. He decided not to think about the sickening feeling of warped bone under his fingers after rubbing his back. Mars had done worse. Hell, he'd eaten worse. Maybe Kigo wouldn't like him when he found out about that. Maybe Kigo would be scared of him. Maybe he'd be scared of Jupiter too. Hell, maybe he'd hate both of them. But until he proved otherwise, Kigo seemed like a good guy. Kigo hadn't batted an eye at last being a stripper. They were practically best friends. He'd heard, of course, cannibalism was a lot different than being injected with a sex drug, but Kigo was very firm with the edge and read in that if you did what you had to do, you did the right thing mentality. Maybe Kigo would understand. Maybe he wouldn't look at him differently like the others. It was a lot of maybes, but as he stared at the too small skeleton resting under his palm, he couldn't help but the bolt of affection that raced through him. Odd. Maybe Kay was just easy to love. That was miserable. Hold on, I need to cough my way to hell. Hold on.
You know, this is somehow a lot. Sure. This is this is going surprisingly faster than what
There hasn't.
Huh?
I've only made
What
one
about
horny
the
joke
peanut
this
gallery?
time, and that's the spooky thing.
This is why you're in
this goes a lot faster without the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
the peanut gallery!
What? What's going on? Hold on.
I said this is going a lot faster without the peanut gallery.
What chapter do we've gone through 3 chapters, right?
Yeah.
2?
2. 17 and 18.
This is going so much faster.
Wow,
It's like 3 hours
surprising.
to get through 4 chapters.
Why are we so much faster?
Less people interrupting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm interrupting
yeah.
myself with how terribly I read. Hold on. Like, I know for a fact I'm not the worst, but also...
Who's Malvery?
Malvery is me.
Okay.
I am the anxiety of the child.
Oh.
I'm the one who isn't okay.
Loving.
Like most
Why am I getting
people.
Wow.
Wait, so who's Matt?
I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff. Hold on.
Cha-cha-cha my way off the cliff.
That's what. That's what
That
Jay
is
said too,
Mallory
sort of.
and-
Mallory, beloved.
What is
Okay,
that?
are we ready to go?
Do Mallory and Mutt have...
Mallory is Mutt.
Do you mean
No,
Mallory and
I'm
Jack?
I'm
Right?
gonna listen to that entire chapter
Wait,
back.
hold up.
My
I'm so
brain is
confused.
melting. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll just
What
read.
What was your question?
Void.
Oh,
What was your question? Doesn't answer.
That was a question
I'm
itself.
going to implode. Never mind.
Okay.
Anyways. Okay, starting.
Where you going?
Chapter 19 is on. Mars had spent the night by Kiyo's side, slipping a pillow under the skeleton's head and keeping watch. Skeletons didn't necessarily need to breathe, but the slow rise and fall of Kiyo's too thin ribs were oddly comforting Mars. Or oddly comforting. Fuck, my fucking cursor was over it and I didn't see the
What is-
period.
We both can't read.
But I can't read, it's just my fucking cursor is over it.
I have the same issue multiple times. You're fine.
Continue.
Anyways, Mars had fallen asleep, sitting up for a little while, but blinked awake when he felt his brother's presence. He glanced to the window, noticing the soft pinks and orange of the sunrise before flicking his eyes to his brother. Jupiter glanced to Kiyogo, then back to Mars.
Is he alright?
Mars hesitated.
Panic attack last night. He tried to eat. Threw up immediately.
Jupiter hummed softly, sitting next to Mars on the couch and tossing an arm around his brother's shoulders.
Should we contact Apollo? I could ask one of the others for his number. Haletka said they got phones yesterday.
Mars frowned.
I'll ask when he wakes up.
Jupiter nodded.
Do you know what caused the panic attack? Did he hurt you?
The second bit was presented like an afterthought, but his eyelids were alarmed in scanning him. Mars shook his head, leaning into his brother, but keeping a hand steady. Let me try that again. Mars shook his
Me
head.
every 5 sentences.
Mars shook his head, leaning into his brother, but keeping a hand gently resting on Kigo's skull. He wasn't the judge anymore, but he could still check people. He just had to be touching them. Sans. He guessed her. LV4. Yes? Do you need something? What?
Lovely.
It's spelled pretty interestingly here.
Blinking?
Oh, we have
It's spelled K-E-Y.
Ooh.
Hold on, I'm in the middle of-
Well, yeah, that's how.
One of the many,
That's how
many
people
names.
call them. They
Sorry, let me-
I thought you were
mispronounce it.
talking. I
Sorry,
thought
my
you were
sister
talking
came in to
about
tell me that I
the
saw boiled
LV4
eggs
was like
downstairs.
spelled weirdly for Void to
Oh,
say
you're talking about that.
something instead.
Sorry, my sister walked into the room. She's telling me.
I heard first
Why?
aid, so
I literally stopped multiple times
Oh,
because
shit, she's
both
in
my
there.
sister and my mom
Fuck,
came in.
You're
I might have
fine.
been talking
Birthday.
over you.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well,
Anyways.
once your sister came in, I started talking, so...
Okay.
Continue.
Anyways. Sans Keygaster. LV4. Attack 4. Defense 2. HP 5 out of 6. He's not hungry. He doesn't want to be this way. Mars sighed softly.
He's starving, Paps.
Jupiter paused, suffering after a moment. Luna.
oh crap! Sorry, I.
Mars sobbed
You sure?
silently.
You sure?
Mars grimaced.
Either he's injured, or he's starting to lose HP because of it.
Jupiter squeezed his brother gently before getting up and looking down at the sleeping skeleton. He lightly patted Kiyo's shoulder before getting up to cook breakfast. Mars sighed softly, absent-mindedly petting Kiyo's head before he caught himself and ripped his hand from the smaller skeleton. What the hell was that? That easy-to-love bullshit was not going to, work. Yeah. Clever, Sans. Real clever. Cleaver?
Cleaver.
That could be a pun. I guess I'll have to axe classic about it. Or maybe Mars just liked to see the lucky bastard squirm. Maybe that's the meat of the problem. The smell of bacon and pancakes filled your skull. Slept clung to you like a tar, but you forced yourself to sit up. Immediately there were hands, skeletal, on your shoulders. Helping you? Okay, they weren't hurting you, so it probably wasn't Gastard. You tried to force your eye open, but it was a lost cause.
Caps?
The hands froze. Okay, your voice was rough, but it wasn't that bad. Fuck off. Wait, bacon and pancakes?
Mars?
Was he in your room? Why? He didn't seem like the type to... Oh. Oh. Memories flooded your head from the night before. Trying to eat, failing, throwing up, having a panic attack from not being able to breathe, and attacking Mars when he tried to comfort you. Yikes.
Kid, you alright?
Mars was holding you up, sounding concerned. You shifted your pelvis to shift your weight around, curling your legs under you. You hadn't been a kid in a very long time, but you were okay with being vulnerable right now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Do not cry. He gently squeezed your shoulder.
Don't apologize, Kiko.
You scoffed.
Mars.
He shook you a little with the hand on your shoulder.
You will not sit here and apologize for having a panic attack.
You blushed, looking away.
Please don't tell Apollo. He begged me to try eating yesterday, and I know he's going to blame himself.
Mars hesitated.
Okay, what triggered you? Was it the food itself?
You shook your head.
Oh, hold on. I didn't know what to process.
Yeah.
No, I love mac and cheese, and Jeep is a great cook. I'm legit upset I wasn't able to eat it. It was because I couldn't breathe.
Mars blinked.
Was that before or after you threw up?
I need to process words. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fair.
After, I think I threw up. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
It's not you. It's not you.
Huh?
It's because. It's supposed to be because.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh!
oh, like,
Oh, yeah, I see it now! I see it now! It's
like,
Jay's gonna shoot me.
after, I think I threw up because.
This is not a laughing matter, I guess. This is not a laughing matter, guys. Not a laughing matter.
Not at all.
Sobbing.
After, I think I threw up because I was already nauseated.
Mars raised a brow.
Feeling sick? Did you catch something at the mall?
You shook your head.
Seriously, in this context.
Huh?
Drop some more.
Apollo dropped some lore, I guess.
Lore?
You shuddered.
I need to process words. It's reading along and not processing, that's me.
Crying.
Gaster filed teeth.
Mars paused.
We filed down Pap's teeth in our universe after Undyne attacked, Jupiter's, I mean.
You blinked.
Did she break his teeth? That's horrible. Apollo and Undyne are friends in my universe.
Mars nodded, then shrugged.
She went crazy.
Your brow furrowed.
Not an excuse to hurt your brother for no reason.
Granted, you knew a lot about Mars' universe, but that didn't mean you remembered everything. You kind of just thought he was born like that. Oops. Mars hesitated, then shrugged again.
Did you kill her?
You sure fuck would've. He shrugged.
Don't remember. She put the hole in my skull.
You frowned.
Are your memories worse in the long term or short term?
He paused to look at you.
Both. I can't remember the incident. I only know what Paps, Jupiter, told me. I have bad recall, and I sometimes forget short-term stuff. Jupe said it's normally little stuff, like losing the remote a lot or misplacing my phone. But sometimes it ranges from forgetting parts of conversation to forgetting where I am. It's why we live in the cottage.
You gently nudged him.
What the fuck? Oh, hold on. My phone is glitching. Hold up here.
Right.
Help! Let me out! It's not. My phone is actually glitching. Free me? Free me? Free me?
Discord
Jail.
is responding! Oh. Well, now they're muted.
Damn.
Oh, there I am. I'm free.
I'm free!
Okay, hold on. Where were we?
You gently nudged him.
I have a mild injury under the...
You gestured
Mild.
vaguely, not having the energy to answer questions about why you had the void on your face.
And my memory wanes sometimes. My recall and short term are pretty good, but I have a lot of blank spots from the lab and all. But honestly, I think that's more because of the mental trauma than the head trauma. What's your memory have to do with living in the cottage?
He hummed, looking at the void before glancing off.
I would wake up and not remember where I was, and I attacked a couple of people.
He frowned.
You must have been so scared. That sounded terrifying, Mark.
He blinked.
Huh?
You blinked back, not really understanding the disconnect.
Waking up in a mansion surrounded by a shit ton of monsters you don't trust, that look happier. That look like happier, healthier versions of yourself and your brother. Although sound fun. My attack blew when we first arrived. Didn't do any damage, but it still really scared me. Is that why you and Jupe moves here? So you wouldn't panic?
Mar stared at you for a solid minute, and you realized you totally psychoanalyzed him. Look at you, using your knowledge of his universe in your high school psychology class for evil. What a bitch. You blushed and looked away, wishing you were simply out of this situation, but not wanting to teleport because your mana was already low.
Sorry.
Marge nudged you. Marge?
You're right.
Marge
Soggy.
nudged you.
I believe. I believe in you.
You got this.
Clapping.
Marge nudged you.
Of course.
You know what? Let's just continue.
What am I saying? Please! Nudged.
You're saying
Nudged. Like, nudge. I don't fucking
No, you were saying it. Wait, hold up.
you were saying Marge nudged you. Okay, I'm just gonna continue. You were right. Just wasn't expecting Red and Edge get it. Not the memory thing so much, but they understand the rougher sides. Helvetica and Malvery too, but they're not really ones to talk about it. It's good to hear.
You opened your mouth to respond, then paused.
Wait, Malvery? Who the fuck is Malvery?
Had you forgot someone? Mar snickered.
Malvery is Vet's brother. He kinda wanders. He'll probably be back soon. Normally disappears for his weird hacking job for a week every month, then pops back in. Normally gets really drunk for his first nights back, though. So if that's something that makes you uncomfortable, I'd avoid it till the next day, or say hi before he starts.
You hummed. Okay, it was Mats, or a Swapfell papyrus. Helvetica's magic was purple, so you'd be hard-pressed to say they were anything other than the Swapfell purple. So you hopefully would have a good read on this Malvery. You were sure that was a font?
Front.
It's not supposed to be front, but it says font!
No,
Sabi!
it's supposed to be font.
Sabi!
It's
You're
a
sure that
font.
was a font. You'd have to Google it.
Oh, shoot. I got distracted by him. Cool, deal.
Mars cleared his throat.
Hey, about last night. Sorry for restraining you.
You blinked, trying to figure out what he was talking about.
One, don't apologize for shit. You didn't let me do... What? Hold on. I'm sorry?
That might be supposed to be so.
Oh.
I like a comma also. You didn't let me, so I'm not letting you.
Yeah, like, huh. I love noticing mistakes while we're reading back.
Yeah.
This is the true spell.
We noticed so many.
Yeah. One, don't apologize for shit. You didn't let me, so... You didn't let me, so I'm not letting you. Two, what do you mean?
He rolled his shoulders.
I grabbed her and pulled you. Kind of pinned you in a hug. You weren't hurting yourself or anything. I just didn't know how else to help. But you freaked out when you grabbed, so that's why I'm apologizing.
You didn't really remember that much.
Restraint for me, Gaster restrained me a lot, and being restrained always meant something painful was about to happen. So that's probably why I freaked out. But you did the right thing. I tried to call you, didn't I?
Mars shrugged.
Yeah, but my HP's pretty high. I got a lot of LP. Speaking of, I checked you. Sorry. Your HP's at 5.
That's
You
wrong.
shrugged. You shrugged, hiding the burst of anxiety. You guessed the little message wasn't noteworthy then.
Oh, shoot.
I was having a panic attack on your bathroom floor. Any amount of checks was warranted.
Why are you reading it?
Not, Boyd!
What? Oh.
You're reading...
I'm going to implode! I'm creature!
Dumbass.
The pause was a little too long, so I thought it continued, like, as if it was quoting it, like...
I had to, like, refocus. I had to refocus.
Get his own back in.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I was having a panic attack on your bathroom floor. Any amount of checks was warranted. But seriously, petting my wrist was the right way to go. My KR apparently really hurts. It does decent damage too, and I was panicking hard enough that I couldn't see. So I probably thought you were Gaster. I might have tried to kill you.
Mars lightly swatted the top of your head, but it was gentle to the point of feeling just like a quit pet more than anything.
You worry too much. I would have been fine. I wanted to ask to see how I could help. See how to help, better. If you have another, what should I do?
You paused.
What you did was pretty spot on. I would say that you should probably start speaking first before touching. I hallucinate.
You stopped there, not sure if you wanted to go in detail. Hallucinations suck. Mars hummed softly.
That's okay. Visual or audible?
Both. Not usually at the same time. That only happens during sleep paralysis, but I don't get that often.
Mars shivered.
Sleep paralysis sounds terrifying.
You grinned weakly.
Trust me, it is.
Apollo had a nightmare. He jolted awake a little past midnight from terrified pulses in his soul. He ripped the soul out of his chest to look at what the hell was going on. It looked fine. His end of his and Sans' trust bond was still severed, but Sans' was still there. He wasn't really sure how it worked, but apparently a bond was like two strings twisted around each other, connecting the two souls. Apollo had cut his string, which meant Sans, Kigo, couldn't feel Apollo's emotions. Kigo's string was still there, which meant Apollo could feel Kigo's unless one of them severed that portion of the bond as well. Kigo was panicking, that's all Apollo knew, and he almost stormed into the little cottage to check in on him before the panic slowly dispersed. Apollo shuddered, holding a hand to his ribcage as if to ease the pounding of his soul once he put it back in its rightful place. Apollo sighed softly, reassigning resigning himself to slip downstairs for a cup of water to calm down. It wasn't until he got to the bottom step that he saw a skeleton on the couch, one that he didn't recognize. The skeleton perked up at the sight of him before getting visibly nervous and looking away. Apollo blinked, waving. Hi there! I'm Apollo! Me and my brother Kigo were brought here 2 days ago. Forgive him for being a tiny bit dry. He was tired. The skeleton blushed.
Oh, I'm Malvery. Milord. Oh, Helvetica is my older brother.
Apollo smiled. Malvery is a really pretty name. It's nice to meet you. He chose to ignore the Milord thing for the nervous skeleton's sake. Malvery blushed harder, looking away and shyly offering Apollo a drink. It looked like whiskey, so Apollo refused, fixing himself a glass of water instead. What are you up for, if you don't mind me asking? Malvery hesitated.
I just got in from work. I do cybersecurity stuff. Week-long trips.
Apollo looked taken aback. That's really cool. Do you like it? Malvery nodded, a smile gracing his face.
Love it.
Apollo blushed a little, realizing that he very much liked to see a smile on the skeleton's face. I'm glad. Well, I'm just gonna go to bed now. It was nice meeting you, Malvery. Malvery's face lit up in a light orange, very similar to Stretch, as he squeaked out,
You too.
and teleported away. Apollo shrugged. It was far too late to try and decipher the cause of the reaction. He took the rest of his water like a shot before rinsing the glass, drying it, and putting it back where it belonged. With a soft yet tiredly heavy sigh, Apollo stretched and walked back upstairs. He collapsed into his bed and curled under the blanket, willing the fleeting images of dental drills, fire, and scalpels to fade from his mind. Implodes.
We're only 3 chapters in and we're only at 5:30. What is this?
Well, it helps that we're not getting interrupted every, few paragraphs.
Holy!
I'm gonna go back real quick.
I need to look at my notification thing. What are you sending, Darkly? Hold on.
I don't know.
Squints. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Points. We're cliffhangering you people! Talking to stream. I don't want the cliffhangers.
Yep. Cliffhanger. I was checking the future to see if there's any of my lines there.
I did not mean to attack. Gosh darn it.
I need to check the stream, the
no.
call chat. Who's here?
What do you mean, who's here?
Man, like stream, non-stream, and call. Okay, that's who's here. I hear people joining, but I can't check because I'm the one streaming this on my phone.
Yeah. People in call: Mieba, Ryder, Luna, me, and Void. And
hello there, waving.
Soda, I think, has joined and dropped a couple of times.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad Void read that chapter because I had a lot of lines in there.
Yeah.
How much?
Malver.
Wow.
Oh, hello?
Blinking?
I'm scared. I'm so afraid right now.
Blinking?
Hello?
Hello?
It's called I'm trying to. Oh, what is occurring right now? Hello.
Hello?
What is going
It's
on?
called I opened Opera or clicked on my tab again and just decides to have a stroke.
Oh.
It's like it was flashing me and I'm scared.
Anyways. Blah 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 blah.
I love the traumatized beans.
Sillies!
The silly goofies. Arm privileges.
4 chapters in already. We can maybe end early unless we want to continue.
I think we can end early.
Okay. Who's reading this chapter?
Probably me.
Okay.
but I'm waiting for Void to
Isn't
Oh,
this
yeah.
one? This one is the last chapter. Either way.
Yep.
I'm good on to end it early, technically. Feels
I
your
don't know
void
if the
cat.
I don't know if the previous chapters were longer or we just like
I think
peanut
we just
galleried a lot more.
I have no clue. But like, jeez.
What if I?
Is there a way to read or to see the word counts of each chapter once they've been posted, or is that only through the email?
I don't think so.
We can
Damn.
see if.
Unfortunate. Jay does not offer the words that posts the word count.
Hello, kind sir. What the heck is this? Metaton. Don't mind me. I'm legitimately just playing Undertale as I speak. As we read this, I've been playing Undertale. Every time I tap off.
Yeah.
Pacifist.
What are you gonna do if you have to read in the middle of a battle?
I tab over. I tab
just
over.
die?
Metaton
Or
can
does it
die.
pause?
Or no, I can die. Fine experience. Fine dining, you know?
Oh,
And I swear I just
no.
died. Wonderful. Right, as you said, die. I died. This is
Incredible.
Either way, I have to be here for this
I
chapter
gotta
because
say,
Malvery
it
talks.
was so funny every time I got to say die as Edge.
Die! Anyways.
Yeah.
My voice cannot. He's mine.
Sorry.
Honestly, it's impressive that I'm actually not really killing my voice with Edge. Though, to be fair, he doesn't have, like,
Yeah.
very long speaking lines, so...
I only said one small line of stretch, and I was not expecting it, so I didn't have a voice prepared.
Voice privileges
I'm scared
revoked.
by my own character.
This is why Stretch's voice always gets yoinked whenever so. In like fix if jaw privilege is revoked.
No, he still has a voice in that one. He just doesn't have a jaw.
Still, I've seen ones. Oh crap! Did not mean to do that soon. Oh crap! Goodness gracious! I keep accidentally fighting this dumb man. Please, man. Let me have Metaton. Crap, wait. Oh gosh, darn
You know what?
it. That's annoying.
Going here, then going here. Man. That's not the right thing. Where was I? Here we are. Play. Put on music. Smiles.
Giggles.
I don't even know you can hear it, but play music.
The great quiet.
Yeah.
Where's the experiment child when you need him?
Blinking?
Where's the soggy Victorian child?
Oh.
I was gonna say, I've got plenty of those.
You shut up.
Goodness gracious. I would ask why you have so many traumatized children, but I can't speak for myself.
Looks at my little religious trauma little guy.
Bleach and go. Look at them.
Me.
This man is shoving his legs at me, please. Stop throwing legs at a child! And leg privileges got revoked. This is what happens with sexual harassment.
Sobbing?
Dude,
I mean,
sexual
there's
harassment,
more
please.
ways to lose leg privileges. We
Oh.
will learn of one of them in about 30 chapters.
Sobbing.
Yeah, I can't heal anymore.
Rip.
Oh, well, I was so close.
Did you die
Great.
again?
I did, in fact, die again.
Oh, ads. Ew.
Why is that?
Run
I
back over
glance
here.
over and see, wow, I've been quoted again, and immediately gets thrown into the Luna's Lust Tail Sands.
Look,
Oh,
somebody's
wait.
gotta fill it.
It's a very good point. Okay, Topaz, your turn to draw. To be drawn.
Go away, ads.
Feeling the immense urge to consume glue.
What the fuck?
Elmer's glue bullet.
Do not consume glue.
Elmer's glue does sound very yummy right now.
No.
Biting
No,
you. Do not.
Mostly hot glue.
Hot glue is also very yummy. I have actually
Amazing.
I've licked a hot glue gun before.
They're wanting to eat glue.
Yeah.
I have licked a hot glue gun before.
Why?
Concerned,
Well.
actually?
As you should be.
Anyway.
Concerns
I've
very
eaten
fitting
fabric
here.
before.
Time to
Oh my gosh, same.
Drunk markers.
Time
I've
to
also
read the chat.
got fabric glue. And rocks. Can't forget the
I
rocks.
hate
Let's start the
everything.
chapter!
You were tired and dizzy throughout most of breakfast and the afternoon. Multiple times, Mars had to catch you after you'd stumbled.
Sorry?
What?
Tired.
You know what?
Jupiter! Jupiter! It's trying to be Jupiter! So take a photo of that, throw that in there. Please.
Jupe was an absolute... Jupe was an absolute mother and fussed over you until he'd finally gotten you to rest on the couch. And that's how you ended up laid out flat on their couch with an ice pack under your neck. Jupiter had wanted to place it on your forehead, but you knew the void might act up from water being so close, so you declined with the excuse of the weight making the headache worse. Which, honestly, not much of a lie. Your headache quickly developed into a migraine. Nausea had a light yet firm hold around the base of your neck, its pinky finger resting in the dip between and just above your collarbones.
Wait, what?
It's...
Sorry?
Don't worry about it. You sighed softly, willing the pain and sick to subside, but it simply would not go away. It got to the point that Jupiter was genuinely asking to heal you.
Jupiter.
Please, Kigo. I promise it is no bother.
He grimaced.
Kill.
I'm telling you, Jupe, it's not that bad.
He deadpanned.
With the utmost respect, friend, you do not look not that bad. Rather, you look quite miserable. Please let me heal you. For my own sake, you're worrying me and Mars.
He gestured to his brother more as an afterthought, but it, plus worrying Jupiter, made you falter.
Are you sure?
He ended up convincing you. You could never deny Papyrus's puppy eyes, and Jupiter was no different. Feeling much better, you and the brothers binge-watched Season 1 of NCIS instead of anything productive. You loved Kate and Abby especially, but you really liked all of the characters. Jupiter surprisingly liked Tony, and not so surprisingly loved Ducky. Mars also favored Abby, and shared your like for Gibbs. I kind of like how Gibbs gets into people's faces. It's a good intimidation tactic. Mars grumbled next to you, watching as the character stood uncomfortably close to something. You snickered.
I think if he was that close to me, like that, there's only three outcomes. Kiss, uppercut.
I'm supposed to say or nibble.
Misspelling. Hold on.
Jay's
I
gonna
think-
smite us after this, I just know it.
I think if he was that close to me like that, there's only three outcomes. Kiss, uppercut, or nibble. Perhaps a warning if I'm in a good mood.
Jupiter laughed at your other side.
Perhaps.
Perchance.
You winked, but only Mars got the reference. Kiss, cut, or nibble? Mars rumbled, flashing you an amused grin.
1, he's hot. 2, I'm violent, and if someone was standing that close to me, it pissed me off. 1 fist his... What?
What?
I'm sorry. Hey. 1 fist his free?
Yeah, sure.
It's...
1 fist is free, and my hands come out as a shoe for 1 special. Free? You cannot put a body part that close to my face or mouth and expect me not to bite.
Mars laughed. 1, fair enough, actually. 2, yeah, I would most definitely do that. Same. 3, you bite? You fluttered your non-existent eyelashes at him, blinking quickly to enhance the effect.
Only if you ask me really nicely.
Mars rolled his eyes and shoved you, already spending too much time with lust. Jupiter snickered.
Influence. Really? Oh,
You
look,
gasped.
that's a lovely little misspelling.
Yep. You gasped, feigning offense.
Hey, I'm on the right. God damn it.
Get the soundboard ready.
No, I refuse. I will leave.
No. Go ahead.
I'm on the right track. Maybe I was born this way. I'm not putting effort into that.
Jupiter scoffed.
Well, I do prefer Lady Gaga to Jojo Siwa, so I'll take that.
Mars snickered. Gosh, Paps, that's real shallow.
No.
Shut up, Sans.
You made your way to the mansion, teleporting to the front door and glancing around the living room for your brother. Oddly enough, the living room was empty of any skeleton. You hummed, confused, but when you checked your phone and saw it was somehow 11:04 p.m., you were able to guess why. You hadn't even noticed the time passing. Mars and Jupiter were good company, you guessed. You perked up at the sound of movement in the kitchen. Peeled into the archway, expecting to see maybe Red or Classic there for a late-night snack, but were surprised to see a skeleton you definitely didn't know. A new skeleton that was currently hyperventilating on the floor with his hands wrapped tightly around his neck. Taking the bottle of bourbon on the counter, opened but unpoured, and the sharp teeth and gold fangs. Swapfell. Malvery. You stepped into the threshold with your hands raised placatingly. You would go get Helvetica, but you didn't know which room was his, and you didn't have enough energy to teleport to one of the guys' rooms to ask. Mallory flinched and slammed himself into the back wall, far from you. You froze, slowly sinking to your knees.
Hey kid, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to make sure you're alright.
Mallory's eyelids were fuzzy and crazed, bright with panic and adrenaline. You frowned and scooted a little closer. He let out a truly heartbreaking whine and curled into a ball. You hesitated, but you could never leave someone like this, especially not an alternate universe version of your brother. Soon you were at his side, tugging your phone out of your pocket and pulling open your contacts just in case you needed to call someone.
Mallory? That's your name, right? We haven't met, but I'm Kiko. Mart's telling me good things. Can you take a deep breath, please? Follow my breathing.
You took in deep, soothing breaths and let them slowly back out until he started to copy you.
Good job, kid. Do you want a hug? Can I touch you?
You opened your arms invitingly, and Mallory surprised you when he peeked out of his arms and gave you a little nod. You scooted closer and gently tugged him into your chest, easing his hands away from his neck.
Good job, kid. It's alright. I've got you. Deep breaths, Mallory.
He slumped into your arms and sighed softly, shivering before slowly wrapping his arms around you. You gently stroked the top of his skull, purposefully avoiding his neck. Stayed with him like that for a while, just breathing and holding your younger skeleton. Eventually, he pulled away, wiping his sockets with his sleeve.
Hey, sorry, what did you say your name was?
He smiled softly.
Don't apologize. My name's Kiko.
Mallory nodded.
You must be Apollo's brother?
He smiled and nodded.
Yeah, just Q's fine.
Mallory smiled nervously back.
You can call me Mal then. I met Apollo last night.
He nudged him lightly.
He's cool, right?
He snickered and nodded.
Very cool. You said Mars mentioned me?
He nodded.
Said you were Helvetica's bro, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and that you go off for a week occasionally for your job.
Mallory nodded back.
Cybersecurity. I normally work from home, but once a month I have to leave the kingdom, or I have to visit the kingdom to present. It's a lot, so I usually stay there until it's over with.
You stretched and yawned, letting your back arch.
That's fair.
Mallory lit up with blush.
Oh, it's nearly midnight and I'm keeping you up by being dramatic, and...
You immediately raised a hand to stop him.
Hey, no.
You shook your head. Hell
no, I had a panic attack. Ugh, I had a panic... What the heck?
I believe.
I'm being infected!
We believe.
We believe.
Oh. I don't know, I had a panic attack last night. Mars did the same thing for me. If it was bad enough to trigger a panic attack, it's enough to be valid. You're not being dramatic.
You paused.
Did you want to talk about it?
Mallory paused.
I just don't want to be colored, and I'm sorry, some monster hater grabbed me by the neck to force me out of a store today. When I went to buy Bourbon for Edge, since I had drank his.
You blinked.
I panicked so hard I blanked out because I couldn't breathe for maybe 2 seconds. I can't imagine how terrifying that must have been, kid.
Mallory hesitated.
So, I wasn't being dramatic?
You shook your head.
Hell no.
You hummed.
Do you want me to walk you to your room? Or your brother's? I'm sure he'll understand. Or Red. He's been collared.
Mallory blinked.
Haven't you only been here for like 2 days? You learn shit fast.
You flashed him a grin.
I pay attention.
He shrugged but noticeably hesitated.
My brother.
You nodded, standing and giving him a hand to help him up. Mallory took it, but absolutely towered over you. He looked about Apollo's height, but hunched, so you had to guess he was maybe 3 inches taller than your brother. Mallory stared down at you.
You know, when my lord said one of the new skeletons were on the smaller side, I didn't think he meant that small.
You blushed, but quickly recovered with a little laugh.
I believe your brother addressed me as fucking tiny when we met. And she still calls me Mouse.
Malvery snickered.
It's just an acquired taste, I fear.
You raised a brow.
Hold on. Let me prepare myself.
Get your flirty voice on.
Cackling.
Ew. Oh my god. I'm not getting a flirty voice on.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you make a habit of tasting it?
You were a whore. You couldn't help yourself. He absolutely lit up with a blush.
What? No!
You laughed.
You answered too quickly. Also, don't look to the left when you lie. I'll give you away.
He didn't, but he wasn't going to remember that. Maybe you had watched too much NCIS. The theme song kinda stuck in your head. Malvery spent most of your walk to what you assumed to be Helvetica's room protesting your statement, while you held back laughter. At the door, Malvery hesitated. You gently nudged him.
Well, what's wrong?
He hunched into himself, crossing his arms.
The Lord is very busy. He needs to sleep.
You checked your phone. 11:54 p.m. Yeah, it was pretty late, but you would be devastated if Apollo didn't wake you up for comfort because you had been busy.
Now, he's a Sans. He cares about you. I would be pissed out of my mind if my little brother didn't come to me for something like that.
You nudged him towards the door.
Besides, wait, the Lord?
Remembered something about Swapfell Papyrus calling his Sans that, but you couldn't remember why. You also didn't remember Red called you. What?
You also didn't remember why Red called Red or Edge.
Oh, why? Yeah, okay. You also didn't remember why Red called Edge boss. So why would Mal call his brother that outside of their home universe? Malvery looked away.
Oh, sorry. Habit. I had to call him around. I had to call him that around other people in our universe.
You blinked.
Why?
He shuddered.
Collared monsters are supposed to show the utmost respect to their masters.
And suddenly you felt sick again.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mal.
He shrugged.
Please don't tell Helvetica. He hated collaring me. He doesn't like being called that.
You nodded.
Hell.
I'm glad.
Malvery raised a brow and you smiled.
Sorry, it's a phrase.
He chuckled.
I know. Wait, was that me or... Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I know. Just messing with you.
You hummed.
Would have been a good Milo.
He raised a brow.
Milo?
He smiled, nudging him again.
Yeah, there's a nickname. Or Mile.
Malvery chuckled and put a hand on the door.
I think you would like that, actually.
And he finally knocked. Helvetica opened the door in seconds, looking tired yet sharp. He was still in what looked like a uniform, purple button-up and black slacks. Thankfully, just black socks on his feet instead of his Doc Martens, as cute as they were. His eyes narrowed at you and his brother.
Oh no!
Should I take a...
Is Miba here?
No, they left. They dipped.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Gonna leave
Yeah.
because quiet part so they don't interrupt.
I mean, I can probably do this.
But you also have a speaking role here.
Okay, I can.
I could
Sure.
Okay. Fuck, where are we?
We're at...
Just what
do you want me to reread? Yeah, that.
What are you two doing up at this hour?
Malvery immediately lost his confidence.
Nothing, sorry.
You cut him off.
He had a panic attack in the kitchen. Something about being collared?
Helvetica tensed, looking at his brother with wide sockets.
Why didn't you come to me?
He gestured at him.
Coming to you, I would have called you, but I didn't have your number.
Helvetica faltered.
Yes, I will give you my contact information tomorrow. For now, I believe me and Malvery need to talk.
He nodded and teleported out after waving goodbye to both of them. You landed in your room, but suddenly you were dizzy. Too dizzy. It reminded you of the fire. Just before it, actually, when Gaster overworked you to the point of passing out. Passing out. Are you passing out? Don't do that. You hopped into bed, barely able to curl under the covers before you were out like a light. Your magic levels were still too low in the morning. Way too low. You fumbled around your inventory, trying to find that monster candy Helvetica gave you, before you remembered it was in a pair of pants. You stumbled into the walkway en route into the bathroom to search the pants you'd left in the laundry basket. Nausea swayed every step, and your skull felt like it was stuffed with cotton. Hey, that's what it felt like after getting that void injection. Except you're not temporarily blind in that eye. It's permanent. And it's hurting? Everything's hurting, actually. You glanced at your wrist with your blurred and hazy vision, but it looked mostly fine. So did the holes in your arms. You hesitated, but slipped a hand into your aching pelvis, hissing in pain and shivering when your fingers came back, coated in dust. You needed to eat something. You just had to get across the hall into the bathroom. You had that, right? You weren't going to pass out? Pass out? No. Couldn't be you. You're built different. Yeah. You barely even felt your skull hit the ground. Mars and Jupiter had gotten early starts that morning. The main cabin was having breakfast all together to welcome Malvery back officially. They'd gotten back a day or two prior, but they'd given him that time to rest. Mars sat on the couch next to Apollo, who had already met Malvery. Jupiter and Pyrrhus were chatting happily about his garden in the kitchen while preparing breakfast. Helvetica looked overly protective of Malvery that morning, but Mars simply wrote it off as Vet simply missing his brother, which anyone could understand. Apollo hummed softly and turned to Mars.
Where's Kigo?
Mars startled a little, not expecting to be addressed. I think he's still asleep. He was feeling sick yesterday. Malvery patted quietly over after overhearing.
Hey, I think it's because of me. I met him last night, and we stayed up till about midnight.
He looked sheepish. Apollo raised a brow.
Oh, I didn't... Why was he in the mansion that late?
He turned to Mars, but he could only offer a shrug. Malvery looked away.
He didn't say. We didn't talk much. I had a panic attack, and he got me through it.
Apollo paused.
Oh, okay. I hope you're feeling better. I'm sure he's...
He hesitated and brought a hand to his chest, hovering in front of his shirt, as he had no ribs to rest his wrist on.
Alright.
Mars tensed, sitting up. Is something wrong? Are you okay? Lust, who had approached from behind Mars, tensed, leaning over the couch.
Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. You guys okay?
Mars glanced at Lust, then at Red, who was sitting on the couch across from them, and looked concerned. Apollo hesitated.
Sorry, our bond is kind of fucked. It's my fault, but it feels weird. Bad weird.
He took a deep breath.
Like my soul is being squeezed.
Lust immediately shuddered.
Ugh, been there.
Red, Mars, and Malvery gave him matching horrified looks, which Lust waved off, but Apollo was too busy grimacing to acknowledge his words. Edge and Helvetica, who were talking near the back door, shared twin shouts. Mars and Red leapt to their feet. Lust shrieked and hopped onto the back of the couch, keeping his feet off the ground as he stared at something. Apollo leveraged himself to his feet with a hand on Mars' shoulder and gasped at what was freaking the skeletons out so bad. A black, agitated mass of something on the floor. Mars grimaced at it. What the hell is that? Red wrinkled his nose bridge.
I don't fucking know!
Lust muffled a squeak with a gasp and teleported a few feet away as it slithered toward him. No, Apollo. Apollo sidestepped the couch and kneeled to the puddle? Whatever it was. Edge and Helvetica made eye contact. Apollo, what the fuck is that? Edge looked oddly freaked out. Atletica just looked a mix of disturbed and disgusted. Apollo's expression was one of pure panic.
Kigo!
Oh, really? You want to
Hey! We're just doing how it was intended! A cliffhanger!
Exactly.
Sorry guys, tune in next week.
Next week to see the next little piece of Kigo's death.
Yippee. What?
Wait.
Yippee!
I'm sure as if that already hasn't happened.
Damn it.
Dying again.
There's in the more
Oh.
recent chapters. Anyways. I need to.
I need these pants drive me insane because they got like a bunch of little hooks and they keep like latching onto every little like fabric surface that has like a straight thread and it hooks onto it and then it pulls it. It's like, please.
Like, actually, this is not going to be staying where it is. Denies.
Wash some patience.
Do 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 do.
Yippee.
I love all the misspellings that we've noticed.
Yeah,
there's so
after a
many.
while I stopped. I was like, no.
I see Pierre joined at some point. It's not showing me the timestamps on here. Weird. Oh. Silly giveaway. Do I end it? Do I end the stream here?
Yeah,
I think so.
probably.
I mean,
We're not doing
Chat!
Forever this time.
Waving.
Goodbye!
Hi,
Bye-bye.
Come in next week. You'll see the next part of this chapter. Da,
Yeah.
da, da, da.
Where's that button?
The next part of this chapter.
Next